Been coming up on the 2.5 minute mark for the men's U17 8 finals. All right, we've got the big boats coming down the course. Men's U17 8s. I think we've got early race leaders in Sammamish, possibly with Everett in second. Yeah, looks like we've got Everett in second. And right next to them, I think that's Oregon Unlimited in that black boat far up there. So right now we've got Sammamish in the lead, Everett in second, Oregon in third. And taking a look at the technique of rowing an 8, it's really all about just building that momentum and then maintaining it. These things are like freight trains. They're so heavy that a lot is carried over. It's like you want to just spin a bike wheel to keep that momentum going. You don't want to be disruptive to the boat. And good 8s rowing is really just all about staying connected and doing the same thing all together so that there are as little disruptions to that momentum as you can. It looks like Everett has about a bow deck overlap right now with Sammamish. Eking into that lead a little bit, though. Everett is definitely trying to claw their way back against this pretty dominant Sammamish boat. It looks like the 1, 2, 3 spots are pretty assured, though. There is a race for 4th happening back behind them, hanging out with the officials' boats. And I think that we're seeing Bainbridge, also a newer organization, just taking 4th over, I think, what is Lake Oswego there. And our race leaders still seem to be locked into that position. Sammamish has just shut the door on Everett's advance. Everett can't seem to get any more water on the Sammamish boat, and it looks like Everett's just starting to row a little bit shorter, whereas you might notice that the Sammamish boat is staying nice and long. Their strokes are staying relatively clean, and they're really not sacrificing very much tech, whereas I think the Everett boat might have gotten a little bit scrambly. It's tough to maintain that confidence and composure when you're not the race leader. You can kind of hear the boat behind you sometimes, and there we see open water between Sammamish and Everett. And Everett just trying with all their might. But it requires collective effort and synchronization to really make speed happen. And they are comfortably in second, however, behind Oregon. And as these boats approach the finish line, the cries of the crowd cheer them on, leading them to glory. And we see this great shot parallel to the shore. The final sprint of Sammamish, they're really bringing up that stroke rate. A little bit of disconnect, I think, from the port and starboard side rowers now as we get into the final sprint of this race. They're pouring on the speed, but it's definitely causing, I think, some ripples in the boat, bringing that rate up. However, they have maintained their lead over the Everett boat, who is nipping at their heels this whole race. And you see the Everett boat just crossing the finish line there behind Sammamish, with the Oregon boat right behind them in third. Congratulations to these boats here. That was a pretty darn fast U17 8 scull final. And we've got unofficial times on that. Sammamish with a rapid 6:27 to take first. Everett with a 6:32 took second. And Oregon Unlimited with a 6:38 takes third. Congratulations to Sammamish, Everett, and Oregon Unlimited. Quick reminder, if you are a lucky medalist today, please be sure to come pick up your hardware, come pick up your medals, or maybe send your coach to do it for you. Come on over to the medals table and pick up your shiny stuff. All right, and our next race coming up. The women's U17 8 finals on the way. We are, wow, a minute into that race. We are early on our start times, folks. That is so exciting. I think that race started just a minute early, or maybe right on time. Official regatta time on that race, Pacific time, 9:59. And we are a minute and 30 seconds into the women's U17 8 finals. Lane 2, Lakeside. Lane 3, Holy Names. Lane 4, Mount Baker. Lane 5, Green Lake. And Lane 6, Everett. It is a 5-boat U17 8 final. And our drone is soaring over to, I think, about the 500-meter mark. Yeah, our boats are just at the 500-meter mark. Let's see who's doing what here. All right, it looks like we've got an early race leader, but not by much. From the middle of the pack, I think we've got Green Lake in the lead. Nope, hold that. Sorry, I think I got my lanes mixed up. It's a pretty tight cluster. There is contact across all of these boats at the top of the field. So I think Lakeside is the only boat that's out of contention right now. All the other boats are close in contact. It looks as though Mount Baker is in the lead right now with a pretty clear tie between Holy Names and Green Lake for second. Mount Baker is in fourth right now.
USRowing in YouTube. Yeah. Just print out a QR code tonight or something. There's a printer in the lobby.
Okay, I think Holy Names has taken a slight lead for that second place position. Yeah, we do see Holy Names with Mount Baker still in the lead. I don't think that that lead's going to go away easily, and maybe not at all. Mount Baker having a great row today with Holy Names in second, and it looks like Green Lake has fallen back into fourth with Everett trying to struggle back on Holy Names. I think Everett might actually be coming close to building the momentum needed to take out Holy Names for that second place position, but we'll see. Mount Baker having just a great row. A lot of connection on the drive. You can see their catches are very well synchronized. A lot of length there. These drone close-ups allow us such perspective on the technical aspect of each of these rows. Holy Name's just holding on, I think, to the lead over Everett, with Green Lake fighting along, still in contact with Everett on the far side of your screen there. All right, Holy Names is in second now. Holy Names has maintained a dominant second position. They have about a deck length lead over the Everett boat. But Everett might not be done. Everett might come back for that silver position. We see those Everett rowers looking over at Holy Names, hungry to get back. We'll see what they have in the tank. Mount Baker now, I think, has a little bit of an open lead. Looks like Mount Baker does have a slight open water lead. Looks like they just have a bow deck open water over the other boats in this race. And as they start to approach the final pylons, you can see there's a lot of excitement in the crowd about this race. A lot of families down from Seattle. This is kind of like a Seattle finish here. All of these boats are from the Seattle area. Although interestingly, I don't think any of them would actually cross paths on the water. They all row on kind of different ends of the Seattle spectrum here. Everett, of course, rowing up on the slough up in Everett. Green Lake has their own body of water, Green Lake unto itself. Mount Baker rows on Lake Washington, kind of towards the south end of Lake Washington, whereas Holy Names launches out of College Club in Lake Union. They're connected, but different. And Lakeside, I want to say, is up closer to the north by Kenmore. So all of these boats know of each other, but maybe not having tested their speed against one another. And we see Mount Baker is still in that lead, but Everett might be taking that second place position from Holy Names. I didn't think it was going to happen, but here we have a race, folks. It's a dogfight for that silver, and I think Everett is going to take it. We'll see what happens in the final strokes of this race. Oh, it's too close to call. Holy Names starts catching up, but maybe Everett. Oh, gosh. Wow. That was a very close finish, folks. I think that was the closest finish that we've had yet today for that silver medal position. Unofficially, Mount Baker with the win at a 7:21. Congratulations, Mount Baker. Some really fast speed. And Everett did end up taking silver unofficially with a 7:27.24. Let's see what Holy Names got and how far back they were, because they crossed that finish line pretty darn close together. Oh my goodness, they were 0.31 seconds off each other. Holy smokes. Or sorry, 0.1 seconds off of each other. But yeah, they got 7:27.31 behind Everett 7:27.24. That was such a close race. Wow. We really love seeing that kind of thing. Green Lake held strong to get a 7:32. I thought that they were going to take Holy Names for a second there, but that's a lot to do over 2,000 meters. But you know that all of these athletes are exhausted. I see some heads hanging over bodies down at the down past the finish line. There's a lot of exhausted limbs just kind of limping over the gunnels of the boat. It's so fun to feel and so great to see. Coming up next here, we have more clusters of time finals.